Last time when I did Man Marzi, I remember I went for a screening uh, in Florence.
Ah.
And the film, when it was getting screened, there one German guy who apparently sees a lot of Hindi films stood up and asked me the question after screening that I am very surprised. How come they are showing a woman who's so horny in an Indian film?
Speaking specifically about men and how women have been marginalized, it's an unfortunate truth in our society. And as Tapsi said, it's been going on for generations. This is something that is slowly but steadily happening.
ये सब काम पॉलिटिशियंस और स्पोर्ट्समैन का है टू send out a great message and really inspire the public and एक्टर्स तो स्टोरी टेलिंग का एक काम कर रहे हैं, तो मुझे लगता है कि एक्टरों को थोड़ा सा बख्श देना चाहिए.
Hello everyone, my name is Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. Today I am with the very talented team of Haseen Dilruba. And here's my question. My question is for Tapsi. Even with Bombay Begums, which I thought was fabulous, they had to point out that, oh my God, why is a modern woman being represented as someone who has desires and someone wants to go and sleep around with everybody? And here the character is very particular about the fact that, she is very aware of her sexuality and she has her own desires and she wants to be wanted and loved. So tell me, I'm sure that aspect did play into your head at some point.
I stopped thinking too much about it since the time Kanika Dhillon offered me Man Marziyan. I've been perpetually cheating, I feel, since then. Then in Badla, now here. So that side of me, I had to really detach my personal ethics and whatever I think is right or wrong in my head and get into believing that whatever I do, I'm gonna do it with honesty, believing that this is what the character genuinely feels is nice and is not doing for conspiracy's sake. It's that. So I am not saying it's the right or the wrong to do. It's a very real feeling that happens with people.
Yeah.
I have to genuinely believe that this is the reason for the character. I should be at least agreeing to the reason that, okay, yeah, there is a reason why she's doing it. She's not just doing it for the sake of creating a conspiracy. Then I can do it smoothly. And that's exactly what I do when I get this kind of a, thin line to travel or that gray zone to reach out to, which is very human, which is very normal and real. I have to just believe in her circumstances that, okay, in this case, she will end up, she might end up straying. It's very human to make that error in this situation. It is pretty normal, and there is nothing to be like, "Oh, ye kaise kar diya" types. So I think I got rid of that taboo long time back in my head. Now my job was to convey it honestly to people. So I've been doing that now. It's my third film trying to do that. I think I was decently successful in the other two, so I think it will be fine this time as well. But yes, as you point that out correctly, I love Bombay Begums too.
Yeah.
So I think that is because it's pretty new for the Indian audience to suddenly get this heavy dose of the new modern Indian woman. It's very, very new for our audience. We've been consuming something totally opposite for most of our lives. Only in art cinema, offbeat cinema is where you used to see such kind of gray shaded roles or not conventionally white characters for women. After decades we have reached this stage. We are seeing in mainstream cinema we are able to see these kind of characters, so it's hit them very hard. It's not going to go down well very easily. Let's be very prepared for it. They're going to take time to feel that it's normal. It's going to take it's taken ages for it to set in a different way, the image. So it's going to take some time for them to get used to this visual also. So I'm okay to give it time as far as they slowly get used to it.
Vikrant, I would like to ask the next question to you in continuation with what I was discussing with Tapsi, with a little different angle here. That when a woman is flawed and makes mistakes like that, she's really judged harshly. And even the character here, I feel like not you is what comes from his side.
Before Vikrant answers this, I would like to point out, if you've seen the film, right, Rudani?
Yes,
yeah. So I would like to point out that one very beautiful thing which I felt when I was hearing it and then Vikrant was performing it, that scene where he comes back and says, that ऐसा he's angry about or he's upset about the fact that how come he did not love you how much you loved him. That was something that came out of like a place I never thought it will. Conventionally you'll be like he'll be upset. Obviously he'll be angry that he couldn't, like, the wife couldn't love him back, but he was also angry for the fact that तुमने इतना नील को प्यार किया उसने कैसे नहीं किया.
Correct.
So
Of course.
And he goes, so that line was very new, very like not really that obsession of Rishu's character comes out so beautifully in that, if you understand it, that how much Rishu loved Rani, that he was so upset that someone who she loved so much that she crossed those boundaries could not love her back as much, which is not a very usual husband reaction to infidelity. So yeah, so that was, I felt, very different from our expected reactions of infidelity.
So,
Yeah.
so the ego of a man discussion that we were having when they find out, Vikrant, if you could highlight on that as well.
All these things, before we begin talking about this, are very deep rooted in our society. I really don't think one answer or one question would suffice this large ranging topic. But to sort of keep it precise, to sort of sum it up briefly, I think I personally would not want to dichotomize it gender wise. I think of whatever little experience of life I've had, I think infidelity evokes similar responses across. Gender has nothing to do with it. But in speaking specifically about men and how women have been marginalized, it's an unfortunate truth in our society. And as Taapsee said, it's been going on for generations. This is something that is slowly but steadily happening. Things that we considered taboo, say maybe 10 or 15 years ago, are now in general public discourse. So it is slowly and steadily changing. But unfortunately, patriarchy has been innate in our society, and it's going to take a while, sadly. But there are a lot of conversations. There is far more awareness today. But coming back to the first part of your question, yes, women are categorized, or any form of infidelity or any form of action which is relatively new or unheard of. You tend to sort of scrutinize it, far more strictly, which is unfair. But in my case, or in Rishu's case, if I can say, Taapsee also, I would have spoken about that, and she said it beautifully, that he reacted in a very different way. He did not, he was hurt, anybody would, but he was hurt also with the fact that, okay, fine, that man left her and he could not love her back the way she loved him. And if you've seen the film, you will realize that she's the one who actually comes up and confesses to the truth. She's the one who comes up on the dinner table and says, main usse pyar karti thi. So there are different dynamics, you really cannot sort of box anything into one. But whereas, Rishu and Rani and the world that they live in is concerned, I think they've reacted, or, also keeping the most important thing in line, which is relatability. You really want to go out there, evoke the sense of feelings that your characters are feeling amongst your audiences. You really want to do that, and I absolutely believe in the fact that my personal moralities, my personal ethics really need to be kept aside. I would not want that excess baggage when I'm playing a particular character. So I generally want to disconnect myself with my personal sense of moralities and play a particular part that I'm hired to play for. But to sum it up, I would say, unfortunately, patriarchy has been an innate part of our society. Steadily and slowly, we are sort of becoming inclusive. Things that should have been spoken maybe a couple of generations earlier, at least being spoken now, thanks to social media and such platforms which are giving people voice to voice out their opinions.
You mentioned patriarchy, and I just want to put that. Often we talk about how women are expected to cook, and here she's constantly told, you either make pakode, or I like this woman who used to make Italian dish and all of that. The reaction here is though interesting, because when she is truly in love, she voluntarily wants to learn cooking, which also means that if you sort of don't keep telling her that this is your job, you're a woman, go and cook in the kitchen. I think that is where I think that point comes out brilliantly.
It's not the duty that you can tell her to do. It's more like because she wants to, impress this guy, or she's so much in love with this guy that she wants to do. You do that in love, where the other person likes these things, or that person likes that color. You would want to wear that color. subconsciously or something. So that's not got to do with, it's not a duty. It's just out of love, you feel like doing it. Don't tell her. If you're telling her that's her duty, that's why you have to do it, that is weird. If I want to do it out of love, that's different. It's my choice.
When you were making this film, of course, like you said, flawed characters. It is about the theme of what what you can do for love and obsession and all of that. Did you at any point were like, no, it's okay, it's a film, and it will be looked upon like that, and the characters here are being put across just like that? There is this little thing of obsession that comes across towards the end, like she mentioned, right? And how much he can do for love, even while harming the person he loves. So I want to know, while were you thinking about that ever while you were doing the film?
Of course, one thinks of all the different perspectives to a story and how that can kind of land and how that's interpreted. So one is aware of all those things, but I think like pretty much what Vikrant and Tapsi said, that one is true to the character in the story primarily, and how they would behave in a certain situation, and that is what the primary goal was, that how are you true to that character per se. The characters kind of belong to a certain milieu. They have to react how typically people in that milieu would react to a situation. It would be very difficult to have everybody who's politically correct or behaving in a way which is because then you won't make interesting cinema. You won't explore great characters. You only have good politically right characters, and that makes it very it's very stifling for any filmmaker or creator to then tell stories. I think primarily we were very clear that we want to entertain the audience. We want to tell an interesting story. There are very lot of real life instances of such flawed characters, whether you look at the Maria Susiraj case, or there are a lot of these people, and you read about it in the papers and you wonder, who are these people? How do they become such brutal killers? Because they just look like one of us, and yet they do some acts, and so for me, when I first approached this story, it was like to understand somebody, these characters who are so flawed and so I would say, whose behavior is so out of the normal, that what drives these people? What are their motivations? How do you arrive at it? And if they have love between them, can that love be pure despite of what their actions are? So human beings are very complicated beings, and for me, it was an exercise in kind of exploring all those elements per se, to kind of see the how can a love story exist between such flawed characters, to the point that I think it's fairly evident and very clear in the film that this is purely a story. I mean, in fact, it's like a series of concentric circles. Even whatever is happening is also as per a book written by a pulp writer in the film, So,
sure,
so one has always emphasized the fact that this is a story. This is a story of a certain nature, and one has to look at it from a lens of how these stories typically are written and processed. So that was very clear that it's film. It's not real life. It's not something where you're taking a stance politically or about a certain behavior. And definitely all the characters come with, and what makes them kind of identifiable to a certain extent is because they also coming out of very real space and value, and those little traits and nuances gives it that sense of believability. I think one was very always clear that, look, we are telling a story, and we're telling a story of a certain nature, and it has to have a certain kind of grammar, which is true to small town fictional pulp stories, and within that, then, if one has to be true to those kind of characters.
Harshvardhan, I think your journey is amazing, and I feel like you still remain very underrated. But I want to know, like, how we're all discussing about personal moralities, you're discussing on-screen characters. I want to know what you felt about the character, because, obviously, as an actor, you want to play characters that are so opposite to who you are. And you're a very different kind of person. But I want to know, because there's such organic chemistry, and that, you look at the person and you're like, what, the situation that Rani is in, I think anybody would go and fall in love with, because he's so charming.
I don't know if I'm in the right position to say this, but I really request people to watch, not put this pressure on actors to give out a great message. I have done very little work to even be worried about it. मेरे ऊपर तो कभी आने वाला नहीं, आने वाले टाइम में बहुत टाइम लगेगा. But मुझे लगता है कि ये सब काम politicians और sportsmen का है, to send out a great message and really inspire the public, and एक्टर्स तो स्टोरी टेलिंग का एक काम कर रहे हैं. ये तो स्टोरीज हैं, कहानियां हैं. मतलब एक्टर्स पे सारा बोझ क्यों आ रहा है, मतलब मैसेजिंग का मुझे ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है. मोरालिटी इंसान की पर्सनल लेवल पे सही होनी चाहिए, उसकी सोसाइटी में उसको लोगों को परेशानी नहीं होनी चाहिए और उसके पार्टनर को और फैमिली को प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए. लेकिन एक कहानी को तो आप इतना फ्रीडम दीजिए कि कनिका ढिल्लन जी हो या विनिल सर हो, ये लोग फ्रीली लिख पाए, है ना, और फ्रीली
जी.
आपको आपके चेहरे पे स्माइल आनी चाहिए व्हाइल यू वाचिंग द फिल्म. मैं नहीं जानना चाहता कि तापसी रियल लाइफ में ऐसी है कि नहीं, बट मेरे को जब रानी को मैंने जब फिल्म में देखा, मुझे तो मजा आ गया. मुझे लगा यार क्या बंदी है, इसको जो ठीक लगता है बोलती है, इसको जो ठीक लगता है करती है. मुझे बड़ा मजा है. अगर मैं उसको लेयर्स में ब्रेक डाउन करूंगा तो कुछ गलत चीजें हो जाएंगी, हर कैरेक्टर में कुछ गलत हो जाएगा. डायरेक्टर, तो मुझे लगता है कि एक्टरों को थोड़ा सा बख्श देना चाहिए. ये उनका रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उनके ऊपर ही क्यों आ रही है. मतलब विच वॉज द लास्ट पॉलिटिशियन आफ्टर आई थिंक अब्दुल कलाम जी, जिन्होंने दिमाग, मतलब हु ब्लू माई माइंड. बहुत बहुत कम एग्जाम्पल्स है मेरे पास. ये उनका काम है. आई थिंक दे शुड बी, ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उनके ऊपर आनी चाहिए. एक्टर्स को थोड़ा सा छोड़ देना चाहिए मुझे लगता है. Charm is all thanks to Vinil sir. I have to say this on record that the way it was written, when I read it, it was slightly different. But Vinil sir ने set पे बहुत sensitivity से इस character को deal किया. I really thank him for that. He could have just dealt with it कि हाँ ये कर दो और चले जाओ. But उन्होंने बहुत अपनी sensitivity इसमें लगाई. और Vinil sir's wife, she edited the film in a certain way कि वो दिखा आप लोगों को. आई एम रियली शॉक्ड एंड सरप्राइज कि आपको थोड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है, बट ऐसा था नहीं इनिशियली. बिल्कुल, मतलब अभी थोड़ा सा एक क्वेश्चन मार्क आ जाता है कि ये ठीक था या नहीं था. पहले तो बिल्कुल ही ऐसा था कि बिल्कुल मतलब गलत ही कह सकते थे उसको. बट थैंक्स टू माय डायरेक्टर्स ट्रीटमेंट that it came out, if you felt it was charming, it was because of him.
Kind of highlighting the sexuality of women and how it is time that we kind of own it, because women have equal desires as men. There are very few films who actually bring this out with a lot of responsibility and credibility. The fact that the desires it cannot be gender specific. That if a man is feeling attracted to a woman, it's okay. But when a woman is feeling that way, you look at her saying that, oh my God, she's very like Chalu types. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's always supposed to say nai nai na na and all that. Like she's expected to be always like, no, that's not right. I'm not like, yeah.
I think, sorry, I'm just cutting here, but I think
please.
a lot of credit goes to Kanika, because I think there's a strong imprint of her. Because I think I remember when we were all sitting on working on the script, she constantly, said that about arranged marriage. We had this discussion about arranged marriages, and exactly what your observations are exactly what her thoughts as well. That there is a certain expectation out of a married woman, and this is how she has to be. And it's very important that we also try and deal that, or kind of do something about it. And I think one is just try to do justice and to what her thoughts were on specifically on these relationship issues. And I think credit goes completely to her for thinking from to have the lens from a woman's perspective. I think that was very important, because that sensitivity and that those elements would only come from. I think, and we celebrate the fact that it was written from a woman-centric or a female, writer. So I think all these things, she'll be happy to know that got noticed, and then that definitely was the attempt.
I mean, I don't know what to say. The fact is that she wrote all that on paper, and something is with Kanika and her expressing sexuality characters that she comes to me with it. Last time when I did Man Marzi, I remember I went for a screening in Florence. And the film, when it was getting screened, there one German guy who apparently sees a lot of Hindi films stood up and asked me the question after screening that I am very surprised. How come they are showing a woman who's so horny in an Indian film, in a Hindi film? So I'm like, I didn't know now how to react to that question. So something is with Kanika and her writing of the female character who is very sexual in some way that comes to me after the Manmaziya. Now that was a different other end of the spectrum character, but again, it was a very like she did have a sexual angle to her and her desire, which was shown very clearly in that film also, and now in this one as well. For some reason, it comes to me. I don't know, but I just hope it looks convincing, because this was that end of spectrum for me. This film, which doesn't come naturally to me. I am not that conventionally feminine person. Okay, so I'm in the spectrum, might be more of a Rumi than a Rani, but then that became the challenge, and that is new for our audience again to see, because as we've seen till now is only a nana nana no 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 no, and getting all that little coy about the whole thing, where it's like, okay, now after marriage, if not now, when will I ask for it? Like when? So that is it is come, it's because it's written by a female, I feel, largely, that this angle, because a man will always, would probably out of respect end up like making it a little more mellowed and not like direct nail, hammer on the nail kind of a situation. He'll make it probably a little more mellow, a little subtextual, because it was a female writer. She was just like hitting the nail on the head, of what, being very precise about this is how she is and what she wants.
Vikrant and Taapsee, it must be very difficult doing that sari unwrapping and wrapping scene. I really wrap my head around it for a while. I'm like, that synchronization, I'm sorry, but of all the things I'm thinking about, that's one scene I want to know. How much time did you take to get that?
That was
right?
very complicated, huh? That was like,
Isn't
really
it?
required choreography. We were like really choreographing it. It did require a lot of choreography. We were like planning it. Okay, this end will go here, and then this end will go. It was very well, it was more choreographed than any song in the film.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how choreographed it was.
And a little extra marks to Vikrant for constantly not losing that perplexed, I am sort of extremely afraid of what's going to happen expression while you're trying to unwrap the sari. Vikrant, did it feel exactly how I'm telling it?
Thank you. I'm glad it reflects that way, because that was the idea. The character was feeling that way. I'm sure you could see the jitters he was feeling, and destiny was definitely not working in his favor. कभी पानी अंदर आ रहा है, कभी बेचारा पोछा मार रहा है, कभी कुछ कर रहा है, कभी बत्ती ऑफ हो रही है, तो कभी सर टकरा रहा है. So I think that was the need of the hour. I'm glad that it reflected the way it was supposed to.
Like I said, I kept thinking as to how you all did that, but well executed, I must say. Thank you so much, everyone. It was great talking to you all, and always honest as always. Thank you so much, team Haseen Dilruba.
Thank you, Rani.